find a new live service, and this is one of their more successful titles, and they're bringing it to Xbox. I think the timing is a bigger clue, and it really has to do with my theory about this getting debunked. I thought this was primarily initiated by Arrowhead. Some of their remarks in public really made me think this was something that they would have pushed for and would have negotiated for. But somebody who is more connected that I trust actually said this was something that was initiated by Xbox.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Bro, what is you talking about, man? Oh yeah, it was initiated by Microsoft. Bro, they don't even own the company, man. This just goes as far to show you that they will blame Microsoft for everything. This is coping at its finest, man. You got PlayStation publishing the game themselves, and they still saying, oh, it's because it's Microsoft. Are you serious, Reforge Gaming?
This is something that they would have pushed for and would have negotiated for. But somebody who is more connected that I trust actually said this was something that was initiated by Xbox.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Like, bro, come on, man. I can't believe we doing this, bro. Really? All because y'all don't want to admit that PlayStation is full third party, even though you told people that they care about exclusivity.
Which really made me think, oh, this is more in line with the recent shifts and changes at Xbox, which is why I'm saying Xbox is no longer a threat. And that is playing the biggest role here. I do not think we're seeing a signal of PlayStation changing. If we...
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Bro, what are you talking about? Oh, this is not a signal of PlayStation changing. It is. I mean, you guys have said to people that they would never put a game on Xbox just for them to do the same exact thing that you said that Sony would not do. Ain't you the same guys that said that Sony would block these so-called PlayStation exclusive games off Steam just so they wouldn't be played on the handheld? Yeah, I remember you took that stance, buddy, and now you out here arguing saying it's Microsoft's fault. You know, you PlayStation fanboys take no accountability for anything.
It'll be as evident as it was with Xbox. They were telling shareholders, they were on earnings calls, signaling these changes. We have not seen that from PlayStation yet, so I don't...
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Bro, what is you talking about? We haven't seen these changes. We just seen it right now. And you still capping for it. And the funny thing is, Sony has been doing this for a while. This is nothing new. What are you guys shocked about? This has been going on for quite some time. And now it's official that PlayStation is full third party. And you guys are coming up with excuses saying that Microsoft is the reason as to why this is happening. You know, like what? Like, you got Microsoft controlling their own companies as to where PlayStation is putting their games on, even though they're the ones publishing the games themselves? Bro, come on, man. This is coping at its finest. Let's hear that again.
As evident as it was with Xbox. They were telling shareholders, they were on earnings calls, signaling these changes. We have not seen that from PlayStation yet.
Bro, this guy's gonna continue to cap throughout this whole video. What do you, man?
So I don't see any cause for concern in those realms. And I want to talk about why, because really, when you start to look at the status of Xbox right now, you will start to see why this is just not as much of a cause for concern and alarm as some people.
Oh, really? But yeah, you guys used the same argument when Xbox games was going to PlayStation 5, saying that, look, it's because of Game Pass cannibalizing sales. They're not getting enough money off Xbox, so that's why they're putting games elsewhere. But then you got Sony doing the same exact thing, but yet you guys have different excuses. You guys want to talk about exclusives, but in reality, all you guys have been doing is using excuses.
Making it. I mean, people are saying, oh, I'm done with PlayStation because of this. You're free to do that. If you think that's what you need to do, that's where your convictions take you, then by all means, do it. Now, there are other big questions here. Most notably, PlayStation to do this. Now, Arrowhead still could have played...
What are you talking about convincing PlayStation? PlayStation did it because they wanted to.
If Xbox is the one that started the conversation, then you have to ask the question. Well,
what are you talking about? What do you mean they started the conversation? According to Fanboys, this wouldn't have happened because there would be no conversation for people to talk about. Because like you said, these games wouldn't have dropped on Xbox. So what conversation are you talking about?
How would they convince PlayStation?
Oh my God, they convinced them. I don't know, with the Trojan horse. Like, oh my, you're acting as if Sony don't know what they doing, bro. Just admit it. You was wrong. Like, why, man? I don't know why they would continue to go down this rabbit hole instead of just saying, "Hey guys, I was wrong. I didn't know PlayStation would ever put games on Xbox." The end. Like, why are we doing this, man? Why are we going as far to lie to our community? And then some people's like, "Oh, I always knew PlayStation was third party," but then you guys said that they weren't. So which one was it?
To do this. Now, Arrowhead still could have played a role here. Maybe there was a bit of a warm handshake, like, "Hey, we would really like this to happen." But fundamentally, if you really look at where Xbox has come as a brand, it's not hard to imagine how the conversation went. I mean,
stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Bro, Reforge Gaming, man, listen, man, you're losing all integrity of your channel if this is the type of stances that you're trying to make, man. Like, you even got people in his comment section saying that he's coping.
Even recently, Sarah Bond basically said that their future is seeing Windows as the largest gaming platform. Well, what that means is all of their future devices will basically be Windows devices. Now, I originally thought if there is some hybrid console Windows device, they are going to try to stop PlayStation games working through Steam. I thought PlayStation would see this as something that kind of runs contrary to their strategy. They are on record as saying the reason they put these games on PC is hoping that they get people to come over to the console. Well, they've been sort of touting in their earnings reports a pretty high percentage.
Well, clearly PlayStation lied to you.
Between 20 and 30% of their users on PS5 are brand new. Like, they weren't with PlayStation before. So they are getting new user acquisition. So at some level, parts of their strategy are working. Okay, so I always thought, well, they'll try to stop that. But if Xbox came to the table and somehow convinced PlayStation...
Oh, here we go. They convinced them. You know, they had him in the back room. You know, they slapped him. Like, bro, you acting as if Sony was interrogated. Like, what? You know, I feel like that guy from that movie. You know you messed up, right? you know you messed up. You know you messed up. You know you messed up, right?
That bringing Helldivers 2 to Xbox was not a threat or a problem. I think that has to do with the future commitment that Xbox has to hardware, and that is they are not doing traditional console ever again. They're letting
But this is a terrible argument because we're not talking about Xbox's latest console coming out. We're talking about the Xbox now.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Bro, you can't even make this up, bro. We're not talking about the new Xbox. We're literally talking about the console that is available right now. What does this have anything to do with Microsoft's future plans in making this PC console hybrid? That is completely irrelevant. You know, what are you talking about?
Manufacturers make the hardware for them. And whatever comes out next from Xbox...
And you know what's funny? The same company that has a partnership with AMD is the same one that makes AMD machines for you. I don't know. This is not starting to sound like good news if you ask me.
Do in fact do one last go-around that they make, like not something made by somebody else, it will likely just be
That's exactly what these consoles are. They're made by AMD. Even the PS5 is made by AMD.
Type of a Windows device that simplifies having essentially a PC in your living room. What this would mean then is that PlayStation has decided that that's not a threat and that's not a concern for them. There's also the theory from the person that I spoke to that this is largely due to seeing this as a refugee moment. There will be people sort of leaving Xbox, sort of coming over and deciding, listen, I'm done with this platform. They've made significant changes.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. Stop the...
Bro, we have so many PlayStation fanboys in this community that even admitted it, have been on record saying, like, this is where it's going. Bro, like, honestly, when you got Porter Roach out here saying, like, you know, taking it on the chin, even though the man was crying on his PlayStation 5 DualSense pillow, well, let me tell you that. There's more respect than that. But you was out here lying to yourself to make yourself feel better that there's nothing going on. We already know this all has everything to do with exclusivity because this is all your talking points.
Made significant, they
were convinced.
That don't really vibe with.
They held Sony hostage.
Traditional console.
They forced them. They had them tied up in the basement. Like, this is the type of stuff that you're saying.
When you see games like Perfect Dark getting canceled, you see studios getting shut down, you will start to see folks exit the platform, especially when future hardware looks even more different than it does now. It'll start to feel like it's seemingly more committed to Windows than Xbox. PlayStation may view that as an opportunity. Just the way they view PC is like, hey, check out our game. Pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, we'll come over and check out our console. Right now, in the market, if you're going to abandon Xbox and make a new hardware purchase, a $450 PS5 is a lot cheaper than trying to do anything in the PC realm. So you're looking at $450, you're trading from the Xbox section, and you get a new console for not that much. So fundamentally, I think this signals that PlayStation is not changing their strategy.
Stop the cap.
Bro, what is you talking about? If they weren't changing their strategy, we wouldn't have heard that this game went to Xbox. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. You PlayStation fanboys just need to be quiet and take your L.
Number one, because they didn't even initiate this, according to what...
Bruh, you know what?
Stop the cap.
Bro, what are you talking about? They didn't initiate it. How do you think the game got... Bro, yo, listen, man. This is so embarrassing, man. They didn't initiate it. Bro, I can't believe we're like, what, 11 minutes, close to 12 minutes in, and he's saying that PlayStation did not initiate this.
What I'm hearing, this was initiated by Xbox.
Bro.
Stop the cap.
Bro, you could take one look at his face and you could tell that this dude is lying to you. What? What are you saying? Hold on.
Fundamentally, I think this signals that PlayStation is not changing their strategy. Number one, because they didn't even initiate this, according to what I'm hearing. This was initiated by...
I don't care about what you're hearing, because what you're hearing is false. Jimmy Neutron.
Xbox. And the only way you would compel PlayStation to agree to this is if they no longer viewed Xbox as a threat.
So you're essentially saying that when... Hold on, let's get another one on that one.
Stop the cap.
So you're saying that PlayStation is dropping games on Xbox because they don't see Xbox as a threat, but then when Xbox drop games on PlayStation, would you go as far to say that because Microsoft doesn't see Sony as a threat? Bro, you sound so foolish.
Didn't even initiate this, according to what I'm hearing.
Oh my God.
Xbox. And the only way you would compel PlayStation to agree to this is if they no longer viewed Xbox as a threat.
So I guess Microsoft don't see PlayStation as a threat then, according to your logic, because they were the ones dropping games on your platform first. What?
That also means that you won't see any signs anywhere else. Until they start restructuring their studios, changing how their budgets work, we won't see other games making the leap. In fact, a friend of the show, Detective Seeds, who had previously made correct predictions
You mean more like Detective Leaks?
I mean, of course, because they have a contact at Nixus.
Y'all need to get off Twitter, man, please.
The Nixus has said,
get off
there's
Twitter.
Nothing else coming to Xbox right now. There's no projects.
Keyword. You said right now.
Stop the cap.
He said there's nothing coming right now. I mean, the dude even bodied himself by saying that.
No plans, there's nothing. This is seemingly some kind of a one-off, which would make sense.
So it's only one game? Well, Reforge Gaming, I'm telling you, there's far more. So you better retract that statement. I don't know why you want to go out like this, man.
Because there's no real Xbox in the future. It'll be some type of a Windows device, which...
Stop the cap.
Bro, I don't even know how many times I had to play this in this video, bro. Like, man, we got to have a stop the cap counter because it's got to be at 100 at this point.
Again, that's not a bad thing, But that means if there's no actual traditional Xbox, then there's no real instance in the future for the strategy to change from PlayStation. Ports to PC come later, live service games land day and date. Hey, I can't wait to check out that game. My friends have been talking about it, and I've been seeing all the clips. And we also know that Nixxes
I'm done, bro. Hold on, what?
does very solid ports. And this game just has that sort of knock-around multiplayer vibe that I think really fits with the culture of Xbox, as well as its history.
Oh, really? Because apparently you guys said that it didn't. But now all of a sudden it does?
War is another aspect of this, and that's kind of related to why I think this game could also struggle.
But Gears of War Reloaded is a 20-year-old game from the 360, a remake, remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, that came out on the Xbox One in 2015? Bro, Helldivers 2 is one of PlayStation's cream of the crop games.
First and foremost, it's not on Game Pass. And we know that that's a vibe in the Xbox community. That's not scandalous to say. They have fostered a culture of non-purchase. You have figureheads, talking heads,
that is a stereotype. Well, guess what? Since I'm saving so much money on Game Pass, I guess I could take that additional $40 that I would have got on PlayStation with the Gears of War Reloaded free upgrade and spend the money there. Wow! Microsoft is giving me opportunities to take my money and spend it on things that I normally wouldn't purchase. Wow! I'm not buying the game. Just letting y'all know.
There's YouTubers, people on Twitter, Reddit, and forums
who
are on the more console war wavelength, and they
like
have,
you,
for a long time, touted and bragged about they don't have to buy games. And that was especially boasted about when a lot of these games started coming over to PlayStation. Like Doom the Dark Ages and others. It was like, well, we don't have to buy those. You guys are buying them. You're a bunch of suckers, okay? So that is a culture.
I mean, technically speaking, you are. I mean, you guys are paying for Doom the Dark Ages, Indiana Jones, and the game. You can't even use physical media as an excuse because the game ain't even on the disc. You can't even use that excuse anymore. You guys are literally picking up Xbox games with no physical copies. Now, I think Gears of War Reloaded will be on the disc, but that's just because it's an old Xbox One game.
They have fostered. So there could be a ton of people that are like, well, I'm not going to do that. It's a $40 live service game. I play games on Game Pass.
And the funny thing is, Xbox gamers, they're getting all these games to a subscription service, and you still have to pay to play Helldivers 2 online.
Related to the Game Pass factor is Gears of War Reloaded. It's hitting the exact same day. There's 30 million people on Game Pass, roughly. There's roughly, we think by basic estimates, there's about 20 million of those people who can play games day and date. So they're either around right now.
All right, I'm done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. This dude caps so hard, bro. It is absolutely laughable that you would even double down, bro. Like, never play a game of 21 with this guy, bro. He will lose every time, bro. He'll be at 21 and he'll still double down. Like, that's how laughable these PlayStation fanboys are, man. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it, man. They don't know how to play blackjack, bro. I'm telling you, they will literally be at 20 and they'll be like, hit me with another one. And they'll bust. Because that's what's going on here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, take care. Peace out.